this week was actually so good for superhero time. First, Geats was actually good. And then KingOhger. They stayed firing from all cylinders. We don't even get a giant robot fight this week, which means the staff are actually willing to sideline the title card lead in order to actually give us satisfactory character fights? Bueno. Caught last week, a public display is set for the main event. Ragula's Hasty versus Gira Hasty. Winner gets full authority over what happens to the loser. Ragulus is down for this because he knows there's dumb folks who are willing to believe anything, including that Ragulus is an actual cool guy. Cue up Hat Guy! You know, making all that is part of the reason why this review did not come out on Monday, was because that took like 4 hours to make. Here's to show these kids who's boss, while taking a literal stick up his ass. You know, Ragulus's guards have actual names, but I'm just gonna call them Mario and Luigi from now on. So, this guy here is Mario, and this guy here is Luigi.
Oh yeah.
Luigi's got some doubts since the trial by combat was Dibouski's idea. But Ragulus ain't taking shit from player 2 when he's player 0. Meanwhile, Yama rallies his nation with some on-done action, while Dibouski's at Himeno's. There's fear that Yama will chime in on the duel, but he's not that type of guy. Seed plant. Also, Himeno's not feeling right that the greater shoe gods along with the KingOhger would be on Ragulus' side. Dibouski's fine with it. Why? Well, story for another day. So it's time to bring back the deepest lore. Accordingly, God Kawagato was the only shoe god capable of preventing the fury of the gods. But they didn't do jack. But once again, Dibouski doesn't really care. The past is the past. But the thing is, even with all that shade on Ragulus, there's something everyone wants. And it's Gira. With his shoe god talking abilities. The massive plot MacGuffin of this entire show right now is him. So it's Monster of the Week time with a mimicking stick bug? Is that what that is? Yeah, that's what that looks like. But yeah, this guy who just blends in so well. Rita tries to get answers from Gira as he was indeed kidnapped 15 years ago. But only Ragulus and Mario know what's up. But if he did kidnap him, then he's gotta get judged before that fight. Since usually the duel is kind of an agreed upon thing, but since, you know, they kidnapped those kids, Gira had no choice in the matter. But right when you think we're about to get some of that there backstory, Gira goes villain mode! Why? So, while Himeno preps some poison, as she confirms that the poison used on her parents did come from Scorpy, Dibouski goes to present it to Ragulus, and making seafood while at it. So now, it's time for the fight we've been waiting for. Ragulus transforming into Kawagata Ohger, with a jingle and phrase that'll make even the thickest of panties drop. Or, if you're Hat Guy, grease up that cap. And here's Gira with that vanilla. Say, Lightspeed, you do any sort of commentating? Nope. What are you good for then? What do you even do? I write your scripts. You what? Really? Yeah, it's an easy gig. Pays well. Almost everything you say is from me. You go off script from time to time, but it's okay. Check's still coming in the mail. Well, can you talk about this fight? Is Rita in it? Not really. Oh, well. You want me to bust a freestyle? Pass. Blade. What? I'm on break, and it's Tuesday. I only work Sundays. Plus, I worked overtime on Sunday. Okay, well, I guess I'll just do it myself. Am I on to... I'm early. I'm early by like 4 months. What? Time Kauto. Who else? It's as Grandpa always said. If you can't make it on time, go do crime. Can you... This is gonna get crowded. Can you go somewhere? Scooch over, Blade. That's gonna be my spot in like 4 months. Who does this guy think he is? Got my eye on you. Alright, let's see how these two knock blades. With a color combination of red and gray, Fury is on Gira's side. But it's the heat of Raculus's might that pushes him past the boundary break. Let's
clock up.
While this is happening, simultaneously Himeno, Yanma, and Sellout ambush Rita with a plan. They swapping poisons to get Gira out of this situation. But Two-Face is plotting something else.
Clock over.
Gira is taking on Raculus with mental gymnastics. Is he afraid of him? Is that what all this is about? Scared that he was imperfect for the throne. Well, this is why Grandfather also said, even if it's past the expiration point, it's still delicious. As such, they kick up the OST that will get claimed for, with Raculus getting a bit flustered.
Clock up.
Because of this, Gira takes full advantage of the situation and matches blow for blow for blow with his big bro, taking one down when this guy shows up, paying off that earlier seed plant that we got earlier. He takes that poison straight to the head.
Clock over.
And with that, I will see you in 4 months. Okay, well, I was not ready for that. And neither was the audience, finding out that Yanma was really the monster of the week, just as the cameras fly by. This timing ensures that everyone continues thinking that Gira is in cahoots with the Bugnarok, allowing Raculus to seize the moment and blow Gira off the stage. Luckily, the damage isn't bad enough to kill, but he's still hurt as the others join in. And one, Dibouski, who shows up after finding something hidden away. But the Bugnarok is becoming huge, so it's time to summon Godbata? Rating time! Much like this review, the episode itself was indeed stuffed. From the lore drops to some bigger seeds being planted, and there's something going on that I'm trying to find too hard to ignore. And I would like to talk about forms, but I've talked about King-Ohger on the Friday live streams a few weeks back. So if you can check that out here, otherwise, for this episode, it's gonna be getting a Sanoni S plus maximum thirst. I think Dibouski's the mole. There, I said it. I'm changing my tune. There's too much in this episode that is starting to sway me in a different route on this. Dibouski is a guy that seems to be playing both sides quite well. Looking at the reaction of Luigi, I don't think he's Kamagen. And Raculus is so sure of himself that I don't think he's fully well versed on everything going on. Dibouski, on the other hand, is playing the field very smart. He set up this duel, gave Raculus the poison as opposed to the neutralizing one, knowing that it would be used. But as the others left due to his blunder, he stayed back, only for there to be a convenient camera to show up right after. Raculus may be a corrupt king, but something about Dibouski this week really has me feeling that this could be another possible outcome, especially when Himeno mentions the fury of the god while he tries to insist that it just stay in the past. Once again, he's a character we know the least of, so I gotta know where this game is headed. This episode, however, the runaway hit really was that anime as fuck fight between Gira and Raculus. This fight was so good that I'm already thinking about nominating it for Fight of the Year in next year's Toku Awards. So, let's see if they can outdo it. The OST in general for this show is just top tier. The characters so far are pretty divided on sides, since Himeno and Yanma really are Team Gira, while Rita and Dibouski really lean Raculus for the time being. But I really wonder, once the facade drops, how it's going to go down. And I'm starting to think that Raculus is indeed just being taken advantage of and might fall victim to his own inability to see past his own arrogance. Waifu wars aside, Rita is the least character developed in the show thus far. And though Dibouski seems to be pretty light in terms of exposure, this episode kinda shows that they are cooking up something for this man. Rita just needs something. But Yanma and Himeno are still the top characters for me, even though this is essentially the Everybody Wants Gira show. Also, Godbata showing up at the end, out of nowhere. Did Dibouski have anything to do with it, or was it someone else? The theory crafting is starting to work overtime this week. Like, with the confirmation of Scorpion's venom being used 15 years ago, who had proper access to the Greater Shugods then? And what made Shogunam properly capable of holding back the onslaught that caused the fury of the gods? There is so much more here, and I'm just hoping that it isn't as simple as it's just Raculous by this point. So, what did you think about this week's KingOhger? That fight, the Dibouski scheming, and what's up with God Bata? Anyway, that's it for me. I think this place is starting to become a little crowded. Until next time, bye.